Hello and welcome to a Heroes World special review of Disney Plus's brand new Miss Marvel TV show. I'm Andre and I am very proud to actually be a very small part of this Disney Plus show starring Markham's very own Amon Villani, who I gotta say is Camilla Khan. Amon Villani is a local hero, and she just happens to have been one of our customers at Heroes World. So all of us here are super proud and ecstatic at her not only getting the part, but nailing the part, but also remembering her roots and giving us shout outs and talking about being a genuine comic fan. I think this is like probably the biggest comic fan that we have in the MCU. She knows her character, she knows the part, she knows the MCU. She's a true fan. So let's talk about my first impressions of the show. So you've heard it already. I think Amon Villani is a star as Camilla Khan. She just embodies this role. She nails it. She's genuine. This picture right here, just look at that smile. She's super happy. It exudes, it just flows off of her, and it is just amazing, amazing to see. Now, of course, I might be biased because I do know her and I happen to have sold her very first Miss Marvel comic book, but that doesn't change the fact that in this role, she just nails it. But it's not only her, the whole cast does an amazing job. We've got Bruno, the best friend, the tech wizard. This is a almost a perfect rendition of the character from the comic book. Now, if you've read the comic book yourself, you know he looks a little bit different. But again, the actions between the two of them are fantastic. I especially like all of those fantasy types, where she's daydreaming or she's coming up with the plan. That scene right here with the plan and the chalkboard and just them going through it. And he's like, really? We're going to ride our bikes onto a bus and go. They've got such a cool rapport. The rooftop scene was another. Just these two characters, they really embody it. But they aren't the only ones who are nailing it. The parents, oh my goodness. Listen, I'm from Markham as well. I grew up with a lot of people of different cultures. One of my best friends from high school, I basically hung out at this guy's house every day, my good friend Atul. And man, I was really feeling exactly what these parents are like. They're loving, they're caring, but they're protective. So I got that from the mom, got that from the father. He's like, yes, yes, Bete, we love you. We want to protect you. We trust you. And he's covering for mom and stuff like that. But you can feel this genuineness. It is not just lip service to the culture. Next up, I've got to say the brother, hilarious, almost looks identical to the comic book. Also, they have taken lines right out of that first story in the comic book written by G. Willow Wilson. You can see it right there. It was no normal. This first episode really, really nails it. They get some moments from the comic, dialogue taken right from the comic, and the look is so cool. It's kind of bright, it's vibrant, it pops. It's got its own style, and I think it really, really nails it. So let's talk about some of the other cast members that really, really did a good job. We've got her friend. Don't call her Kiki if you've read the comic. This is Nakia. Again, from what little we saw, I got a feeling that she is going to be just like she was in the comic. So now I've spoken a little bit about the comic, and if you've read the comic or you've seen the video game and stuff like that, there's one big difference if you've watched episode 1 to what we see from the comic books, and that is her power set. This here is a band that she gets from her grandmother. It's in some stuff that her grandmother sends. She pulls it out of the attic to make the costume her very own. She's going to a cosplay contest, and the whole idea is make an Avengers costume, but put your own spin on it. She chooses to put this cultural armband on, but unbeknownst to her, it has powers. So she doesn't get her powers like she does in the comic book from the Terrigen Mist. But I think that's probably a good thing because in the MCU, the Inhumans show kind of flopped. And if they wanted to reboot that and put all that baggage in, that would have been a lot of story to tell. Now, when she does use her powers in this show, she still has the same power set, the ability to stretch, the ability to make her appendages larger, but it is more a solid light projection. So again, I think it's probably a pretty cool change. The other change that I did like was that she was going to a convention. Okay, she was not going to a party. In the first comic book, she's just going to a high school party. I think this more so fits the character of Camilla Khan, that she is just such a fan, such a geek. You know, of course, in high school, if you didn't fit in, you always wanted to go to the party. But I think this just feels real. And oh my God, those high school scenes, I got to say, again, everybody is nailing it. The cast is doing a great job. The writers, I really respect that they've gone to the source material, but also added in their own stuff. So far, so good for this first episode. I have got such high hopes for it after seeing this. And I'm going to be painfully honest. If you guys have watched any of my other reviews, you know I'm very hard on the MCU, and also I want them to focus on the source material. And like I said, so far, this show is doing it for me. Not only does it look great, but this first episode was 42 minutes around. So they took the time to tell the story. They've got some of all, not some, just the locations. They have got the store where Bruno works, and it looks almost identical to the comic books. Wow. Even though you could say I'm a little bit biased, I truly think this is one of the best things Marvel has produced. I can't wait till next Wednesday to see the next episode. But if you can't wait, there's a couple things I want to recommend to you to check out. First up is the first trade paperback of Ms. Marvel. It's called No Normal. It's written by G. Willow Wilson with amazing art by Adrian Alfona. Another local connection. This is a Toronto-born artist. Great first issue. You're going to be introduced to the Khans. You're going to be introduced to Kamala. You are also going to see this kind of adventure play out. And you can see where the roots for this TV story came in. Now, if you have a younger child that might not be able to read this book, this is a Teen Plus book, I highly recommend the Little Golden Book, Miss Marvel book. This show, I think, is going to appeal to people of all ages. I swear, just give it a chance. And if you've got young kids, they definitely have to watch it. Listen, as I said, so happy and so excited, just be beyond myself for what Iman has been able to do. Like, look at her. She embodies this character. You know, I don't want to say somebody is born to play something or born to do something, but I think really Marvel did a great job in casting her. And again, I want to say thank you to her for always supporting us. As you can see, you know, she dropped by her hood, come back to her roots, to where she bought her comics from. And I think that is telling. She's the same girl that was buying comics, still hangs with her bestie, still goes for her bubble tea, and still is shouting out to T.O. and Markham. So this first episode, 2 thumbs up. I'm putting it up there with some of my favorite MCU stuff. And I think it just might be my favorite Disney Plus MCU first episode. Thanks. I'm Andre. Hopefully you guys check it out. I highly recommend it.